Hey guys, so this is a 1999 Compaq Deskpro EN. This guy has a Pentium 3 processor at 800 MHz, designed for Windows 2000 or NT4. As you can see by the stickers here, there's the Pentium 3, there's Windows 2000. It also has the front audio, it has the power button, there's a Compaq logo, Deskpro EN. The power button's not exactly the most clicky button, but it is pretty firm to press. Now up at the top we have the Optical Drive, which the button's a little sticky on, and a floppy drive. Now around the side there's a latch and the side. On the back we have the proprietary Compaq power supply, which has some weird ventilation, a serial port, audio in and out, parallel port for printers, Ethernet port, so networking is possible on this old machine. It does say not a phone modem, so that's how you know what time this was manufactured in. There's another serial port. There's two USB 2.0 ports, or 1.0, sorry, that's not 2.0. There's VGA for the integrated graphics, and our keyboard and mouse PS2 ports, and then there's a phone modem installed. Around the other side there's a ventilation hole and another case open latch, and then on top here's the Windows 2000 and NT product key, all on one sticker, and the Compaq model number. Next up I'll be showing you how to get inside this machine, and we're going to take a look at all the components inside this guy, which is pretty interesting inside of here. So we're now going to be opening the Compaq Deskpro. Now you press the one latch on that side, and then there's another latch on the other side, which you press both of them in. Make sure they are unlatched, they should click out, and then you just kind of vigorously shake the case and push on it until the top should slide off. Now it's extremely dusty in here because I haven't cleaned this machine yet, and maybe that'll be a cleaning video for the future or something like that. There's a motherboard diagram on the top of the case, which is quite interesting. Appears I can hold the camera still for this, but there it is. And then inside the machine is quite dusty, but you know, that's what you got with old hardware sometimes. The front bezel just kind of comes off. I don't know why that is. I think it's supposed to have a latch on the other side, but it didn't have one, so that's just how it is. There's the front audio. It looks like it could have like an option for USB. There's a floppy drive, and the optical drive and hard drive are up here, which you can fold open so you can get a better view at it. There's a 15 gigabyte Seagate Barracuda ATA 3 hard drive. And then next to that is a Sony CDR RW drive that was, I believe, added in because it's from 2002. Don't think that's original. Now I gotta pull this back up because underneath there is where the CPU is at. So down here is our Pentium 3 processor, underneath that dirty cooler. Now, also, down in there is the chipset on the motherboard, which it appears to have an Intel chipset, which is not surprising. So that integrated graphics is probably going to be a little weird. There's 256 megabytes of RAM on one stick. And then there's this big riser thing, like in the other Deskpro that I have, the big one. That kind of just pulls out, and then you get 3 PCI slots off of one, which is quite interesting. And there it is, and there's some other connectors and switch bits on there. It appears on this motherboard that you could actually have a dedicated GPU installed, which is kind of interesting. Never seen that before. And there's our proprietary power supply. Definitely can't replace that one. It's a little weird. Sorry, I'm trying to do this voiceover all in one shot. But anyway, there's a case latch on top that tells the machine if the lid is on or not, so an intruder switch, kind of like Dell has. And then there's appears to be like a CD audio switch or something next to it that you can plug stuff into. I don't know what that's for. Probably case intrusion. And around back there's our proprietary power supply with some stuff on top. Go ahead and close that up. And then that tells you how to use it. And then we're going to look around the other side here at the power supply model. But first there's a built-in PC speaker. That's pretty cool. It works pretty well actually. And then here's our power supply model on this side. It is a 100 to 127 and 200 to 240 volt power supply, and it only allows up to 120 watts, which is pretty darn low for a power supply. So you would not want to use this with any like high-end graphics cards or anything like that, as you'd probably end up with some problems. So rotating back around to the front, we're going to put the front bezel back on at the bottom. Make sure the button aligns with the power button. Then the lid, you just kind of set the top casing on, and it just kind of falls into place. And then you slide it back, and make sure it aligns with the bottom bezel, and it's set to go. So there was the inside look at the Compaq Deskpro EN from 2000 with a Pentium 3 processor, and next up we'll be plugging in this machine and trying it out, and it won't be a voiceover for that section, so get ready to hear raw audio. So if we ignore the mess of cables, we now have a keyboard and mouse hooked up to the machine. Well, we're gonna get some of my other background stuff, not the sheet here. So let's go ahead and hit the power button. Really need to get a screen capture device. So it's on. So I think this machine has a clean install of Win2K on it. Gotta cut that light off there. I didn't feel like bringing a CRT over, so Optical Drive works. So we're using just a Dell flat panel display for the purpose of testing this guy out. Let me add some lighting here real quick. Okay, so I should just be able to log in here. I don't believe this has graphics drivers on it, although I very well could be wrong. This kind of looks like a fresh install of Win2K. Yeah, no GPU drivers, but let's get that resolution up a little bit. Okay, well, it beeped. I don't have a scroll wheel on this mouse. This background in the high color modes looks pretty good. Let's see here. It's the first time I'm gonna ever have to use auto adjust on a monitor like this. This is the E2011H. So it's a 20-inch monitor. Okay, there we go. Oh, adjusted its thing. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, this is definitely a fresh install of Win2K. So there's definitely more to come with this machine on drivers and stuff, but for now, we know what we're dealing with. Let's see if it tells us what we got inside this machine. It does not. Okay. Let's go ahead and restart. Okay, so we're gonna press F10. Alright, so it's just like the HP setup. I mean, HP and Compaq are the same thing. We have a Pentium 3800. That might actually be interesting to compare it against my 950 megahertz Athlon CPU. Two of the competing CPUs from that era. So I can get this a little bit better here. There we go. There's a lot more in this BIOS config than move media boot than the other Compaqs that are a little bit more low end that I have are older. Energy saver, interesting. AGP aperture size. Yeah, two options. So it does have integrated graphics of some kind. It does not tell us. We do have 256 megabytes of RAM, which is pretty cool. So this thing will need some drivers for it. But it boots, so that's all that matters. It's got a copy of Windows 2000. I can probably find the original somewhere, but I don't know if that's going to be entirely worth it. But here's the machine running. The hard drive is pretty loud. I mean, it is an old 15 gig hard drive, so that makes entire sense for why it's kind of loud. Also, this keyboard is, if you can tell by the extension, it's a USB keyboard, so we're fully utilizing the USB ports on this computer, because for some reason my PSC keyboard did not want to function today. That mouse doesn't have a scroll wheel either, neither does my Microsoft IntelliMouse. This is one I had in my closet, so we're using it. I'm getting rid of a bunch of modern hardware tomorrow to get some of these, more of these older machines. The internet works. Let's make sure we do have that 15 gigabyte hard drive in here. And indeed we do. A little bit less than that, but yep. Hard drive does indeed work. I got our Pentium 3 in here. See if there's anything wrong with this drive. Okay, so this drive is fine. So yeah. So that's the Compaq Pentium 3 Deskpro EN with Windows 2000. The exact model is up here. ENS P800E something D1 US. And there is, I believe, a Windows NT workstation product key and Windows 2000 key, which is quite interesting that it has both. So basically, thank you for watching these new format of videos as I'm trying to work on vintage hardware now. So stick with me, there will be more videos coming soon. I have to edit them all, and I'm probably going to do voiceovers. This is just going to be the raw audio that helps. The voiceovers sound different probably. So, yep, so that was the Compaq Deskpro EN with a Pentium 3 processor, and hopefully there's more videos like this to come. Thank you for watching.